Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the EJ Sports Podcast. Now, today, I am basically, before I even say what we're doing, I have my host, Jay. Jay is back, everyone.
Hey, what's up, you guys?
So, basically, today, we are going to be doing a sort of wrestling tier list. Now, as you guys can see on your screen, we have all the current WWE Championships that are basically active. Ranging from the World Heavyweight Championship all the way down to the WWE ID belts. Now, we are going to be doing two rankings, but today's ranking is going to be all about the aesthetics, what the belts look like. Later on, we're going to be doing a episode where we're going to talk about the lineage, what we actually think about it, if they're any prestigious or not, yes or no, any of those sort of things. But today, it's all about the way that the belts look. Now, we're going to start from the bottom all the way to the top. So we're going to start off with the WWE ID belts, the men's and the women's. Jay, what is your position? What do you think the belts, how do you think they look?
I think if there was another category of failure, horrible, I will put it in there, but I will put both of the belts on the D.
I 100% agree. I do believe that both of these belts are D category. In my opinion, I prefer a black strap over a white strap. There's only probably one championship I've ever preferred a white strap, and that is the old Intercontinental belt. But for me, these two belts, they're both, honestly, they look like sort of Canva blank draft sort of championship where like we thought this what it would look like, but we never expanded, if you know what I mean. The next belt we're going to be talking about is the WWE Evolve belts. Now, for me, these are some of the most prettiest belts I've ever seen in my entire life. They look like they have a sort of identity, if you know what I mean. I feel like these belts are like what the sort of, if you have you could say a concept, but you want to expand it more. For me, these are B level belts. What do you think?
They look good. They look good, but here's the thing. It's basically for jobbers. This belts, that means I will put in the C category.
Now, see, remember, Jay, we're not going on their lineage or their sort of what they represent. We're going about how they look, their designs.
I will go for C.
For me, these belts actually look pretty good. I give these a B. We'll say, for me, the black belt looks better. I'm gonna put that in B. Would you agree that we could put the C belt with the women's belt?
I agree.
All right then. The next belt we're gonna be looking at is the WWE Speed belts. Now, these belts used to be on Twitter or X, defended on there. Now they are belts that are going to be on NXT. El Grande Americano is the men's belt, and as of recording, yesterday on NXT, Soruka actually vacated the belt due to her injury, and is now a vacant belt. Now, for me, for some reason, it reminds me of like the Over the Limit sort of logo, and I have nostalgia. I want to put him at C, but I could agree if you put him at D.
I will put him in the category of trash, but there's no category of trash. I will put it on D. This belt should never exist.
So you're telling me that the WWE ID belt goes to D?
You mean speed?
I mean speed. Oh my god, speed belt. I will say that as much nostalgia I want to give them to C, I do agree that they're probably one of the worst belts. They sort of look a little more gimmicky. As much as I like them, I will put them at D as well, sort of to give that cohesion.
Again for jobbers only.
But again, like I said, we're not rating this on the sort of legitimacy and their lenience. We're rating them on their belt design. Now, we're going into the NXT. We've sort of left the lower card of developmental. We're now in the higher card of developmental. We're first going to be talking about the NXT Tag Team Championships. Now, for me, this is a C tier belt. Their weight, honestly, I could even bump them up to a B tier. What do you think?
If this was, I don't know, probably 2014, 2015, 16, 17, 18, or even 19, I will put it on the A tier, but this titles I will put them in the B tier. They look pretty good. Not how it used to be, but pretty good.
I will say that 100% that these belts have seen better days, and of course that you're talking about the NXT Black and Gold era, those sort of belts. They look good in sort of nostalgia. I will say these belts look nice. I'm gonna put them in a B category as well. Now, the very I would say controversial for the simple fact that a lot of Americans don't realize that cups exist instead of championship belts. The NXT Heritage Cup. Now, I believe the current champion is Lexis King, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they've had been other uh, champions when it comes to that. The Heritage Cup, for me, it just looks nice. But, and there's a big but for the simple fact, and pause on that. But there is a but when it comes to the idea of the design. Now, when it comes to the Heritage Cup, um, for me, it looks a little flimsy. The Heritage Cup does look flimsy. I feel like they're trying to do like a New Japan style, if I'm not mistaken. They do give cups, and the idea of former, you could say the MMA world, where oh, I can't believe I'm blanking on the name, but when there was back in the day, they used to give belts, and when in K1, oh my God, K1 is one of them. I believe it's in Korea, but K1 kickboxing used to give cups as well as championship belts. For me, I would put this in the C category.
Looks like a championship for any other sporting event. Never seen this before. Never seen this championship before. And again, it's probably for jobbers. I mean, if it was me, I would put it on D tier, but you already put it on C.
Like I said, stop rating it on heritage. Even though it's a Heritage Cup, do not rate it on heritage.
I would give it a C still. It looks pretty cool, but at the same time, who are they going to give it to?
Well,
Do they wrestle for it or what?
again, as someone you can see who is not cultured in the NXT world, Jay, he watches AEW. Ugh, disgusting AEW. You could tell right away that he's not cultured because he does not watch NXT. Bum. We're gonna
I
go to the
used
next.
to, but not anymore.
That's a clear lie. I could tell right away it's a clear lie. We're going to the NXT North American Championships now. When I talk about beauty,
There's one that looks beauty,
I see this belt right here.
but there's another one that looks so disgusting.
I actually don't agree with that. The NXT North American Championship men's, I put that as an S tier. That is nostalgia. Goes back into the bygone eras. In my opinion, that's a beautiful belt. That is something that people cannot compare it to. In my opinion, the brown strap, the brownish red strap, gives a nostalgic vibe. I give that a S. But the NXT women's, I would actually put that at A. It's not as good as the NXT men's, but it's still better than a lot of these belts.
I disagree with you on that part. I will put it on low B tier or high C tier. It doesn't look good. If the color was a little bit different, the strap, I will put it on the A tier. But nah, low B, high C.
So I say A, you say C to B. I'm guessing the compromise is B tier. Now, out of all of these three, in my opinion, it's the higher end of B. It's better than the NXT Championship, Tag Team Championship. It's better than the Evolve Championships. In my opinion, it's just better.
I will put the Tag Team Champion first, and then it's tied between the North American one and the Evolve one.
Well, compromise. And speed goes higher. I'm sorry. The ID belts, I do not care about this. Next thing, we're going to the NXT Women's and Men's Championship. In my opinion, these are straight C's. There is nothing good about these. Both of these belts are very much what I said about the WAD belts, but slightly better because of the colorways. When I tell you that these guys took a great design, that was the black and gold NXT belt, straight gold. that era of NXT belts, the ones that's like you can say during the Finn Balor and afterwards, without the big X, but before the 2.0 belts, that belt was the greatest belt. When I tell you those belts were nostalgic, those were great. But these belts right here are very much not that. Both the men's and the women's, not great. No sort of creativity, no great design. My opinion, they are straight C. And now you can convince me with D because these belts are not good.
I agree with you. I agree to all extent. This is horrible. What happened to the old era? And yeah, stay and see.
All right. We're going to the next belt. In my opinion, it is probably the worst belt out of all of them. And that is the women's tag team belt. In my opinion, it's like they tried to do a Divas title, but take away the sort of good things about it. So the butterfly, the colorway. In my opinion, it's a straight D. I don't want to hear anything about it. If your opinion is anything higher than a D, you've already taken away all your credibility.
That title should be a non-existent trash category. This is horrible. Charlotte and Alexa Bliss have this title, and I feel bad for them that they're holding on a horrible title.
You know what? Just for you, we're gonna make this new thing on the fly. The trash one, the trash category, and that's where we're adding this one in. We're gonna add these two in as well, because in my opinion, the speed belts are better. The speed belts are better than
Actually,
these two.
put the white one in the trash category too. Oh, the speed. There you go.
See, I'm a person that likes the black strap, and you know what that means? Both of these belts go down too.
Even the cup.
No, I'm keeping the cup there. No, you cannot. Don't move the cup. I like the cup. All right, next thing we're gonna go to. It is the women's and men's United States Championships. In my opinion, these are both trash as well, man. I don't know. This design, for some reason, they decided to take away the design. The design looks uglier than usual. For me, I actually prefer the white strap. So the white strap would go into B, and in my opinion, the men's would go into C.
I disagree with you on that part. I feel like the men's championship title should be on B, and the women's should be C.
Okay. I see what you're saying, but for me, they're nothing higher than the B. You took away a great title design and you just made it so ugh. Like me seeing LA Knight, me seeing Jacob Fatu, now Ilya Dragunov with these belts. I feel like it's not as good looking as it was before.
Triple H, you ruined basically all the titles. Bring back Vincent McMahon. He made the titles great.
What Jay is saying does not go with what he is saying. Please do not crucify me with that. I do not want Vince McMahon back. And you were about to slay and talk trash with Triple G. I would not recommend that. But we're going to be going into the tag team belts, both the Raw and SmackDown. In my opinion, the SmackDown belt goes straight into A, and there's nothing more.
I agree with you on that part, and Raw should be in...
I say
C.
I say C as well.
Actually, low C, high D.
I say C as well. Now, this belt is trying to be these belts right here and failing massively. But the SmackDown tag team belts, when I tell you, you'll see it on the screen right here. When I tell you what it used to look like, just adding blue to this belt elevates it to S. Adding blue to the tag team belts and SmackDown will elevate to S, but because there's no blue, it goes down to A. When I say that, is because these belts with just a little bit of color makes the world of difference. Or it could trash it compared to the NXT North American belt. As you can see, the color itself elevates it, but also it could downgrade it. I feel like this belt could do the same. And when it comes to the WWE World Tag Team Championships, in my opinion, they ruined the design so much. Anything's better than the penny belts. and these silver belts. Though anything's better than those. But what the belts used to look like during the Ruthless Aggression era, even the early PG era, they're way better than these belts. Now, the Intercontinental Championship, both men's and women's. I hate the design so much. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. This is what I'm thinking.
Put the other one on D.
I'm not gonna fight you over it because this design right here pales in comparison to what the white strap Intercontinental Championship used to look like back in the day. Imagine Cody Rhodes with that belt. I can imagine that. I believe Dolph Ziggler, I believe The Miz, they used to wear it with the white strap. That design is way better than these two designs. And again, talking about this design, continue, this belt right here. This used to look like this with no blue, and this used to be down here. But because they added a little bit of blue, it moves up one tier. The design is still trash, but it moves it up. We're going to be going to the World Championship, both the men's and the women's. In my opinion, these go right here. The one thing I hate the most is that you had the design for the big gold belt, the former WCW Championship, which would be the current WWE World Heavyweight Championship, but you decided to put your big logo in the middle. It just ruins the whole design. In my opinion, these belts could have been so much better. I do probably I don't know. They were for me. That honestly is probably like up here, but like these two belts probably some of the worst designs I've ever seen in my life because you put your big logo without that logo. In my opinion, without that logo, it's probably one of the best belt designs because you bring it back to the retro side. But because you put that logo, it goes down in my opinion. What do you think, Jay?
They're just horrible. I agree, C tier. Just because, just get rid of the W. You don't need it. It's ruining the title. And the women's title, the same thing. Both titles, just get rid of the W. But they're not going to do that just because they need this logo as the sponsor.
But I feel like that's the thing that really ruins it because like if you really think of other championship belts, yes, they have their logo in there, but it is not huge. It's smaller, and the ones that have the huge logos, they just don't look good. But we're going to the last ones talking about huge logo. The WWE Women's Championship and the WWE Undisputed Championship?
I don't know how they have it now.
Like I don't get how undisputed this can be if there's these exist. But in my opinion, the men's B, the women's B.
I disagree on you on the women's.
Where would you put the women's?
I will put it in the high C tier.
In my opinion, the white strap actually complements it. That's the reason why it's in the lower tier of
Not
the B
for me.
category. For me, this is better than that belt right there.
That one should be in the high C also.
No, in my opinion, no. They're not this level. Like these are way worse than this. I will say that there is no surprise that there is nothing higher. There's only one per S and one in A, for the simple fact that the rest of these belt designs, some of the worst in WWE history. You know, I feel like these ones in the bottom, they compare to the 24/7 belts, and sadly, there's just no design. Like these ones tried, the speed belts tried, but clearly failed. The World Championships, if it wasn't for that huge logo in the middle, they could have been A or S, but they're down here. Same thing with the World Tag Team belts. But in my opinion, the NXT North American belts, S tier, 100%. And the WWE Tag Team, the SmackDown Tag Team belts are A tier. Everything else just falls in place. Anything more to say?
No, I just feel like the old era had way better belts than now. Now it's just put in the W in the middle of everything, ruins everything. Ruins the whole entire belt, the prestige of the belt, and it's just different.
No, I 100% agree. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to this sort of new source style. We are going to be doing more tier lists in the future. Thank you guys so much. Please subscribe, like, and follow, and goodbye.